What is up, guys? Welcome to the Fosterman's live stream. So, gold is hitting all-time highs. Can you guys believe this? Of course you can. Of course you can. This is insane. Insane, just all-time highs. We're nearly at 4,000. You can see right here. We were nearly at that 4,100. And let me just put this here. 4 ticks away. 4 ticks away from this all-time high of 4,100 psychological. You can see here that's why you'll get these front run sort of plays coming into action, but of course that's what we're monitoring for. Okay, so most of you guys are probably already familiar with a lot of the things that that I trade. That's quite it's normal, right? Just a very standard order flow type trading. You see over here that we're at the value area highs of the day. Okay, and it looks like we could be getting a little rotation down. We were expecting London to break these all-time highs, which of course they did, but we didn't really get much action from there, right? And that's because we're hitting that psychological level. That's really the main reason, right? Is once you start hitting these psychological levels, those round numbers, you'll start to see like just the way that buyers and sellers are stepping in is different. If you're watching as well the CVD, you can see here, look at this, right? If I just go to here, right, you'll see that just all day we have been just moving our way up. Right now we're kind of at a standstill when it comes to CVD, which isn't great, right? So that's not great, but potentially just a little turnaround here. But there's not, we're not really getting follow through with that. So there could be some absorption happening here. So that's what you should be looking for. It's just those absorption plays. If we're looking at these 15 minutes, right, there is a couple 15 minutes around here. So as well, if you're looking for how to get these levels and how I find these levels and stuff like that, you could just join the link in the bio. But yes, we got a bunch of levels today. Nothing, no A plus setups, that's for sure. But we do have some of these around here. So realistically, just monitoring them, seeing how we start to approach. But you can see down here as well, right? This RTH. So if I just go into this RTH chart, you'll actually see that we came down to this initial bounce high, right? So we ended up breaking out of the initial bounce and then coming back, tapping that pretty much perfectly. Same with the value area high of here as well. So it's just a all round really sound nice play. And then if we go over here, right, and I just draw this, okay, we get the initial balance of the RTH here as well. And look at this, we rejected really nicely once, rejected really nicely twice, kind of hovered around it, and then ended up breaking out of it. But yeah, so pretty much just monitoring these sort of levels. And then for all you guys that are in the group, you would have seen that we had that value area high of this RTH. Okay, so this was I posted inside the Discord saying that I was looking at this RTH value area high, and I'm pretty sure that aligned with, where did it align? It aligned with this daily naked POC, right? So naked daily POC right around here. It aligned really, really well. So that was like a no-brainer, really. Like the price was more than likely going to see some form of a reaction from here. That's a pretty crazy reaction. How much? Is that 40 odd points from that RTH value area high, which is pretty insane. We also did get a lot of nice reactions from these naked POCs, right? So this is going to be the Asia, London, New York, okay, and you can actually, if I just zoom into these, you'll be able to see that right down here, perfect reaction, okay, like literally to the tick. And then we got a nice move up. Where did we move up from here? Well, we ended up coming back up to this New York POC, right? We actually tapped this just right here, so this was a naked POC, right? And then we ended up closing right here, and then getting that nice drop off. So we literally just went from naked POC to naked POC, and that was on Thursday. And then if you look over here, right, we had these New York right down here, which was perfect, and another perfect play. Again, this is what I'm looking at. This is like my bread and butter trades. Okay, it's going to be these sort of plays over here, right? So if we just look at this really quick, you can see here this was this naked New York POC right here. Got a perfect reaction from there. We ended up, I pretty sure I told you guys how I was trading this or how I was looking at this anyway, but there was a naked POC right here. So if I just like zoom in, I can show you guys really quick. So there was this level right here which we got a perfect reaction from, right? Like pretty much to the tick. It was the psychological level, and then so that was that. So we bounced from here, which was also a, if I just scroll down for a bit, this was our potential play, right? So all these levels we marked out prior, and this was that potential play. So that's why this was just a really nice reaction. You actually see that our potential play was a little bit more accurate than just this level itself, which, you know, if you're trading order flow, it doesn't really matter, but it's just really nice to see, right? Seeing these levels get hit and just constantly getting nice reactions. But yeah, so we ended up hitting this, came back down, hit this again, and you can see just from there, realistically, we haven't had any new naked POCs except today, which we had to close, right? So that's pretty much summing up what I'm kind of looking for, right? Is like just looking at these levels, seeing what we're dealing with. So like I said over here, these RTHs are just working beautiful, like really nice RTH session. But yeah, so coming into today, you know, it's just been range bound all day. You know, for a lot of you guys that don't know, if you just go to over here, the calendar, you'll see this. Today's a bank holiday. So I was saying that today. I was kind of expecting like a little bit more. We did break the all-time highs, so I suppose that's one thing. But, you know, we ended up, I was kind of expecting that because of those tariffs on China, the US was doing, that maybe there was going to be some form of like better movement. But if you just look at this, right, like if we just look at the open, you know, we're getting like crazy reaction. So if I just like go from here, where are we? So this is the UTC plus one chart. So the open is right around right here, right? So you can see that as soon as we open, pretty much, what do we get? We got a nearly 100-point move from the open, which is just insane, right? So you're watching this, I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, you know, these Asia broke all-time highs, right? And then London broke all-time highs. So, you know, we'll see what New York's going to say about these. Again, it's bank holiday in the US, so it could be a little bit, you know, iffy when it comes to these sort of plays. But of course, that's why you're only really trading those, you know, A plus setups on days like this, right? But yeah, down here there wasn't really. Because here we're just tapping this daily POC right now. So if I just mark this out, we've just like kind of hovered around this daily POC for a bit. More than likely going to break these all-time highs pretty shortly. If we also look at this really quick, we can see that we are just breaking this value area high. So, you know, watching what's going to happen around this value area high right now for London, that kind of makes sense, right? So we'll see what we're dealing with, but so far it's a pretty crazy new half an hour candle open in literally 2 seconds. So let's see what we deal with from here now. But yeah, it's like just when you're hitting all these all-time highs, you know, and it's a bank holiday. It's not the favorite, right? So not great, but you know, there's definitely worse price action I've traded in. So put it that way. Alright. Tap that value area high to the tick. Let's see what we have now. Go over to the chart. Yeah, I'm just sellers coming in. Absorption out the wazoo though, which is crazy. But look at this, like just for the last For the last 1 hour, we've been like just sellers have been hammering in these sells. So, you know, watching this and see what's going on here. But this would be pretty crazy if this was the high. You know, that'd be actually really sick. But other than that, there's really nothing major, right? Just having these ranges sitting out here, kind of just waiting until we hit something a little bit better. You know, so we'll have to see what we're doing from there. But yeah, just watching this, seeing what's going on. What are you guys thinking though? What are you guys thinking? Keep me updated, keep me updated. Do you think this is the high? Very well could be. Very well could be this high. Yeah, it's not it's not looking great, right? So we'll have to wait and see what is going on here when it comes to these sort of levels. But yeah, kind of just waiting until we start. There's some buyers stepping in right now. Again, when it comes to these like new can't opens up, like the new half an hour, look how extended by the way we are away from this VWAP. Just during Asia, we hit the VWAP twice realistically. You know, so yeah, if I just like go over here, right, we had just one little reaction around here, so we came down, kind of hovered around here, and then this was pretty much the last reaction before crazy extended move up. Let me just turn on the deviations. Yeah, it looks like we've been riding that standard deviation for a while, which is pretty crazy. Nothing major though, right? Nothing major. But yes. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let's see what we're dealing with. And of course, you guys already know that. Well, most of you guys already know anyway. Yeah, look at this actually. First, we just dip right back into here. We go down to 3. Kind of just hit this area right around here. So we just pull something like this. Just missed that area actually. Chill, look at that. That's diabolical. I'm gonna remove one of these. Go into here. Turn this on. 50. So my chart's got to reset, guys. Most of you guys, this has been diabolical. But yeah, my chart's got reset. I lost like a bunch of levels. I was so annoyed. So I had to go in and manually put a bunch of my levels back in, which sucked. Put it that way, it sucked. But yeah, just monitoring what's going on around here. That initial balance was just a crazy beautiful reaction if you would have took a buy from there. That was on the new open, by the way. But yeah, 87 points to the upside. 870 ticks. You know, what was going on around there actually? That's kind of interesting. So, wouldn't you know, we also had some old potential plays around here, which was beautiful. But it looks like we tapped into this little range right around here. So yeah, the best setup was actually just taking out a bounce, or initial bounce, sorry. But you're just watching this. Look at that. 0, nothing. No orders. It's a disgrace. Hopefully TradingView updates their stuff pretty soon, right? So that would just be great. Came down here, look at this. You know, watching these levels, like look at this was oh yeah, pretty much. This is where all the buyers were, right? And look at where we ended up tapping into. If I just like mark this to the tick, it's just beautiful, right? Came down, hit it again. Again, just beautiful reactions from these levels. Crazy a lot. You know, this is why I don't like trading around these hours as well. Just look at this, right? Like, look at this chart. It's just so messy. It's very hard to look at. Whereas you just wait until London, you know, you could clearly see these levels. Like, look at this even right here, right? We opened, came back down, tapped that POC to the tick, and then off to the races, right? So that's another reason why I like looking at these sort of areas. Maclips, I heard TradingView's footprint chart is not accurate. How true is that? It is actually pretty true, right? It's not going to be the most accurate. So I usually use two platforms. So I use Addis, which is right there. I use Addis and I use TradingView. So for executing, I'm pretty much just watching Addis. But see, for like points of controls and the value areas and stuff, they're actually quite accurate, right? But when you're looking at just this sort of data, right? So when you're watching, like, you know, how many buyers and sellers are stepping in, you know, your main you know, software is going to be Addis. Okay, so that's the stuff that I pretty much use. Like for these imbalances and stuff, I find them useful just to get like kind of like a gauge. But the next time I go live, I'll actually do an Addis live just to show you guys. But yeah, you know, it can be a little bit you know, a few discrepancies, right? I actually done a comparison video on it. I think it's on the YouTube. I done a comparison video on it, and it's not that different. Okay, like it's, you know, you're not, if your idea is, you know, logically sound, right? Like if you're expecting buyers to come in and so on and so forth, then, you know, it's you're pretty much going to get the job done with this. But yeah, you know, TradingView does lack a lot of software features that like something like Addis has. Like for one is like big trades. Big trades is really cool. You know, and you could just spot like absorption pretty fast from that. So I've done like a million videos on this for the short form, but like right around here, or I think it was right around here actually, there was a bunch of sells coming in, right? But they were just getting absorbed like crazy. There was literally no movement from the sellers, and you can still kind of see this, right? Like this is why I, you know, again, the discrepancies aren't really that crazy. Is that when you're looking at something like this, right? So this is a B-shaped profile, and it's a bunch of sellers. So this is like absorption pattern. Right there, that's absorption 101. So like just watching that alone, you know, so when you see a B-shaped profile with like red in it, that's absorption. And then when you see like a P-shaped profile for the prime one, you know, that's kind of like absorption right around here, right? So I can just show you this really quick. So this is like a bearish pattern. When it comes to the footprint chart, it's like when you're seeing like this P-shape sort of profile and a bunch of buyers are at the top and we're not getting any follow through, that's like absorption. But you could, you know, just the easiest way to spot this, by the way, is just by looking at CBD, right? So you can see right over here that you know, we made a high here, a low and a low, or a higher low, or a higher low, and we made two higher lows and we made two lower highs. But if you look at this, right, you can see here that we're making higher highs on this. So that's just showing us that there was like a bunch of buyers stepping in, and all those buyers were just getting absorbed, right? It's showing us that there was a passive limit sell order just right around here, absorbing all those buyers that were stepping into the market, right? And you can see here, look at this candle right here, a bunch of buyers stepping in, and just nothing is happening. So that's just like, that's a classic absorption pattern, right? But yeah, so when you're like, you know, for really, really granular data and like just getting like the best of the best, I think using something like Addis is going to be like key. And you can actually, you get it for free. So it's like they have a free plan on at the moment, which is really cool. But yeah, so I think, you know, the main differences are, like I say, like when you're just watching the charts, everything's going to be kind of similar, right? But you know, when I'm scoping in on a trade, so if I just go over this chart really quick, so like let's say for example one of these levels down here, right? this old potential play level right down here. So this old potential play level was right inside this close, right? So this was this close session. And what you're going to do when you're like looking at these sort of levels is, instead of like, so I have, both of these things, which are perfect for people that are just trying to get into order flow. But, for like the more tech savvy sort of side of things, if you have your level set on this chart, go over to Addis and then just monitor what's going on. Like I said before, these levels are going to hold. I've done like a really, in-depth comparison of them, and they're just very, very logically sound. As long as your levels are logically sound, that's really the main thing, right? But yeah, I would definitely cross-check, see what's what works for you and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoy just doing my levels and stuff on TradingView, and then just marking those levels manually on Addis, and then just monitoring from there. Again, when you're coming into like this sort of space, it can be a little bit tricky. So I think like just making it a little bit easier for yourself is definitely going to be key. That's for sure. That is for sure. But yeah. But again, seeing just this, it looks like we're about to hit new all-time highs. So look at this. We're just hovering down for a long time here, and then just right around here, we're starting to pick up. So we'll see how that works out. We will see how that works out. But yeah, I would be focusing on like right now, right? Just monitoring. So let's go into this chart. Just like monitor this. So let me just mark these. But yeah, like this psychological level, there was a lot of sellers stepping in. You can see right over here actually. So if I just zoom in to over here, you can actually see that there was a bunch of sellers stepping in, right? Again, we had that absorption, which is just crazy. When you're looking at these sort of levels, you could just expect, right, like 4,100, 4,150. If I just show you real quick, like 4,150, it seems like a far away. It's really not. We literally just hit 4,000 a couple days ago. I think at the start of the week, we had 4,000. So if I just mark this out, 4,000. I can't find it. But anyway, we hit 4,000, and it was just another really big psychological level. So like right now, another big psychological level. And you see here, as soon as we approached even just close to that, sellers just started piling in. More buyers were trying to break that price, and then look at this, right? They just weren't able to. There was a big sell wall just sitting here, absorbing all them, and then, of course, we just got that, nice extended move down. But yeah, so watching that sort of things is definitely going to be pretty cool. Hitting a bunch of buyers right now. So if we're going to break it, it's going to be like right now. It's like literally pretty much the last defense for these buyers. And then after that, where are we looking at? Right down around here. If I just pull something like this, and we have right around here as well. So just watching that and seeing what's going on. So yeah, let me see. Like I said before, there's a bunch of buyers here. So let's see what's going to happen. Sellers just piling in right now. There's buyers starting to pick up. Nice buying imbalance. So we just have that POC of the 5. Let's see what happens around here. Yeah, we realistically have to get above here. Above that 5. It's looking very likely, to be honest. It's looking very likely. very accurate right now. But yeah. But I could analyze some more assets, so if you guys want, you know, we could go into some other fresh, new stuff and see what's going on from there. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see. But other than that, there's really not much going on. Honestly, breaking these all-time highs. Again, you know, this is like just that high volume node area. Right, so if I just mark this, you know, that's pretty much hit it to the tick, right? So that's like what I'm talking about. Is like it can be very, you know, these levels are pretty much logically sound. I think we might have just. Could have been equal, actually. Very close to equal. Maybe just a little bit of absorption there, but just nothing major. Nothing major at all. So let's see what's going to happen around here. Ugh. Yeah. This is pretty much no man's land right now. Pretty much no man's land. Not great, not great. So let's just wait and see what's going on, what we could do. I'm very confident that we're going to break all-time highs here in the next, like, what time is it? I'd be very surprised if we don't break it in the next 3 minutes. Next 3 minute candle, I'm pretty sure we'll have broken it. Shit, let me actually hide that view up. Just throwing me off a bit. So let's see. So yeah, pretty nutty, pretty nutty. Let's see, I'm gonna load up some ADA software for you guys. So let me see. That should be out of so like uploaded for you guys. That should be pretty cool. Right. Yeah, so there we go. Literally in the next 3 minute candle, I told you guys. Breaking those all-time highs. So we just high depth market. CBD's still not able to crawl up. So see, like, buyers are really active around here. We have some buyers coming in. Look at this, 23. Let me see. Hopefully that's smooth. It's kind of looking a little bit laggy to me. So we hit the multi highs. We're right at that psychological level, so let's see what's going on here. Bunch of buyers stepping in. You can actually see that I was looking at this earlier. Just get this going. Oof. Smashing through, smashing through. Let me see Dom, that's from Dom. Yeah, so look at this. So well, that's psychological. That's what happens when you're at these sort of, all-time high levels. You just have to trade the psychs. Some sellers stuff. That's pretty nutty, like. Let me go on here. Change this crosshair. Let's see, let's see. Just smashing through these levels. Look at the orders coming in. This is just insane. Silver cleaner. Bunch of sellers stepping in right now. 14.16, POC's 14. I think there's a little bit of lag. So let me try to sort that lag out really quick. Let me try to sort this lag out. Should be a little bit better now. But yeah, look at all these sellers stepping in. Just tap them. This is where I was looking at earlier. I think I said that to you guys anyway. Is I was looking at just around here. You could see we ended up approaching down, a bunch of buyers stepping in, and you had the sellers trying to step in, and CBD was just tapering lower. It was no good. It was no good, that's for sure. So let's see what we're doing right around here. Where's this high? This high was close to that 5. Bunch of sellers around here. More people looking to sell than they are to buy, really. Like, yeah, look at that. That's why I love using these sort of like big trade stuff. Again, you can see this on a bunch of platforms, but like, look at this one positive delta. There's just as many buyers as there was sellers here, pretty much. Not really aggressive too much. Look at this, just crazy aggressive sellers coming in. Hitting these buyers right now, so if we're gonna get a buy, it's gonna be like literally right now. You can see here, just if I like this little like thin chart, you can see here over here 71 buyers just stood here defending price. Beautiful, beautiful. So hopefully the lag isn't too bad. I'm gonna try to fix this anyway, but yeah, look at that. Let's see what's going on here. Look at the sellers piling in. Oh my gosh. If we want to go higher, we're going to have to get some buyers stepping in here. how are you using Addis on Mac? I got accepted to like the beta version, so they let me use the beta version on Mac on Windows, or on Mac on Windows, Addis on Windows. So from Addis to Windows, I was using that, and then I got accepted to the Mac. It's really good. It is so good. I would say a lot of you guys, I'm pretty sure the subscription, if you get like Ultra, so you obviously get for free, right? But if you get like the Ultra subscription, which I got, you can it transfers over. So if you're on Windows, and a good free way to look at from Windows is VMware Fusion. It's a little bit glitchy. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit glitchy, but that's what I was using for a while. And then I'm using the Mac version now, and it's perfect. Perfect. Let me just see this really quick. Hopefully this is not too laggy. I feel like there's a little bit of lag on the stream's end. But yeah, look at this. Buyers stepping in. Of course they are. Of course they are. Let's see what this CVD is looking like. Bunch of sellers stepping in. Again, buyers need to, like, if they really want prices to break new all-time highs again, they're going to have to really step in. But there's, right down here, there's a bit of buyers stepping in. So we'll have to see that. So let's see what is using up. Oh yes, Spotify. God bless me. Okay, let's see what's going on from around here. Yeah, this is like a really powerful platform. This is what I'm using right now. So most of you guys already know. So we step into here, this sort of area. Let me just pull this profile. It's like this. That's pretty much what we're looking at, right? So yeah. These bars got nowhere. $13 around here. But even just look at this, right? Like, so let's just, if I put this on again really quick. If we're gonna buy, it's gonna be now. It's either now or never. It's either now or never for the bounce. But look at this, like there's, where else we can go all time highs? We have 11. 12, 20 way up here. It's just moving, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at this, guys. Come on. Look at this. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful market reading. Yeah, pretty much if we don't break past right here, we're just we fall over keel. But yeah, I think right around here. So I'm still obviously like going from here. You know, it's a bit. If we don't, literally, if we don't continue on going up here, this is where the reversal will more than likely happen. Let me just pull something like this. Whoa. That's beautiful. Yeah, so we literally, this is the only time we should be bouncing. If we don't bounce from here, it's just sell or run, really. Like, well, we did get a bounce, but like, I mean, like, you know, if we end up falling from around here. Look at that, guys. Beautiful reaction. Come on. Someone clip that for me, please. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty nice. Got some exhaustion as well on the CVD side. Look at this, just buyers. There's really no sellers, really. Like, well, this, you know, obviously monitoring this as it's coming along. I feel like this is like not set properly or something. Let me see. Yeah, it's already set by the bar. Yeah, look at that. Told you. See, you know, this was literally the only other area. If sellers were in control, that's where they want to reject from, clearly. So we got that initial bounce. What is this? You know, from here to here. Looking at what? 2.2. 2.2 points. That is a very common number, by the way. Anytime I see it, look at the sellers paneling on. 35 sells. Oof. You know, if we just pull something like this, let's see. So it's pretty much going to be a target, right? There's really not a lot. Sellers, like, if you're getting in right now, this is like, you're protected, really. Protected just, there's really nothing up here, like, but protecting yourself just above here would be smart. But you can protect yourself above those cells right here. Just this little cell like wall. Sure. What's going on around here? Let's see. There's really nothing, right? Sellers. Yeah, so if you would have had a really super duper tight stop there, like I was saying, you could have, but the real is going to be just right up here. You see how it's just like 11? That's where the POC was. Where are we? Right around here. This 95 psychological level is kind of holding. Got a bunch of orders sat there waiting. Retop. Let's see. Maybe 5 minute open and closing. Look at all these sellers. This classic, by the way. This there was someone that asked earlier, and I was just explaining that. That's like the classic B-shaped absorption style. You know, I don't know if I could actually do it on here. I wonder if I could. No, it doesn't show up. It's a classic, just B-shape. So let's see what's going on from around here. If I just pull this again, let's see. Let me actually pull this. It's just above, really. See, the charts get really noisy when you start You know, so let me just remove some of this. Joe, what is this? No one. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at all these bars. 44 bars. Sellers. Yeah, it's definitely not great, like, isn't it? I'll fiddle around with that later. Right, let's see. There's really not much going on. Not much going on. Bunch of sellers. What the heck? Let me just go into here real quick. Okay. Let's see. So this is pretty nutty. Actually, what's going on right now. Look at that volume. Step in. Beautiful profile. I'm gonna actually do that like that. Where is it? There it is. Oh. Additional and change this from content delta. What's that? Oh wow. Okay, there we go. Bars are still pretty present, right? Let's see. Huge sell wall just sitting right up here. What's this? 45 orders. Or is that? That's pretty much high. Psychological level again. You know, that's where you see at these all-time highs. That's where you'll always see those like just buy walls and sell walls. It's going to be at those psychological levels. It's either now or never for the sellers. Seen some selling action coming in there, but doesn't look like much. Yeah, pretty confident we're gonna hit this. Whoa, 35. 39? Look at this. Those have sellers right over around here. Whoops. That was literally just them. Right here. Just hit those buy orders right there. So let's see what happens right now. Almost last chance for the buyers. Pretty much the last chance for the buyers right here. Let me go into the settings really quick. So I have two big trades on. One's for separated, one's for cumulative. I choose the mid size to 10. Value isn't too bad actually. Hold on. I still really like the. Kind of looks gross, right? Doesn't look the greatest. Yeah, we'll turn this to 15. But on Windows, if you like hold in like Control or Shift or something, you can actually see the orders without having to turn them on. So hopefully they add that soon to the Mac version. So again, I hate having the numbers on. It's good for a quick glance, right? But you can see up here 10, 10, 12, bunch of sellers stepping in here. We had only 10 buys right around here. Let me actually turn on that as well for this. So if I just move this to 15 and then move this to 15 and then turn on show values. There we go. Where are you in Asia? I travel around Asia for a bit. Like right now I'm in Vietnam. Probably going to Japan or somewhere next. I'm just back from Malaysia. How'd you know I was in Asia? That's crazy. Probably because of the color, the outside. But yeah, I'm in Vietnam at the moment. How do you know I was in Asia? Yeah, I travel around quite a bit. Look at this. You mentioned it in one of your short videos. Oh, true. True, I think I did actually, that's right. Fair. That is fair. Yeah, I'm in Vietnam. I went to Malaysia like 3 weeks ago. I've been all around, all Europe, just been traveling. Europe, Asia, all around Asia, all around Europe. Went to Ireland, UK, Spain, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. I am in Shanghai. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go so bad. It's on my next year for sure. I'll definitely be going there. That's for sure. See that POC is right at that 42 wall. So let's see what's going on here. If you come by there, I'll be happy to invite you. Nice, nice, I will. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord, and then I'll update. I'll tell everyone like where I'm going and stuff. So if I'm going around that area, then I'll say. But yeah, that would actually be so cool, mate. Cool. I probably will be going next year, 2026, probably around like January, February time, maybe. But this year, I'm in the next few weeks or months, I'll be going back to Europe, and then back to Asia. I don't know yet. I might go to Bali to start of next year, and then I'll see from there. So that would actually be pretty cool then if I go like Shanghai area, Beijing, travel all around. CBD's just flat right now. It's not looking great. No real big orders coming in or anything. I think everyone's just kind of sitting on their toes waiting. If we break this wall, that's going to be pretty huge. So far, these sellers are holding price really nicely, and it looks like they still continue to want to hold price. So we'll have to see and wait. Only a point forward away, so CBD's like. If we could pop right now, or just pop above this level, that'd be really nice. Alright, we're just hitting on it, so let's see what's going on now. So much chop. This is like so much chop. See? Looks like we're about to pop. Tab and come on, just pop. What else volume coming in right at these highs? Quite a lot of volume coming around these highs. Again, like what is going on, guys? What is going on? Let's pop. You can get some absorption from here. That's just, you can easily tell that though. Look at that. Oh my gosh, 31. That's pretty nutty. trying to get this chat. Just hide it now. Okay, let's see. This is crazy resistance coming in, right? We've got 42 buyers stepping in around here. Let's see what happens. But yeah, sellers are really holding it right now. Slapping through those. Oof. Kind of like that a little bit better. It's pretty hard to see, like. Look at this. This is just bananas. This is just bananas. Those sellers have done a pretty good job of holding though. Bit of absorption happening. Sellers are pretty much in control though. Again, this is like where I'm kind of looking if I don't see anywhere else that I would really want to get in. Let's go into here. Let me see. Yuck. That's pretty clean. That is pretty clean. Let me actually do settings again. Can't show value. Which isn't bad. There is a way. How do you do that? So to get like just all the values shown. I think it's just like common settings. You're just gonna like settings, visual settings. Where is it? Minimize volume values, yeah. So just turn that off, and then you are able to go in here and change this. We just show value like that. And if I take this depth of market, turn it off. Over here, turn this on. Here. Could add this to the chart. It's not great though, is it? It's not great. It's not my favorite. I think just having like the DOM on just kind of makes sense, you know. And then show cumulative values, turn that off. I'm pretty sure there is a way though to like proportion width. Something like 100. I think that just looks a little bit cleaner in my opinion. Yeah, there's that area. Let me just like mark that out really quick as well. There is that area, guys. Shouldn't have been fooling around with settings. Let me just go someplace with this up. See, I'll clean this up a little bit for the lives. So from now on. But yeah, this is the platform that I'm using right now. It's called Atas, ATAS, Atas. If you guys are wanting to get it, you just click that link in the bio. It has a free plan, free start plan. So you can get onto Atas, get the free start plan, check it out, see if you like it. You can get all these tools that I'm using inside there. So it is really handy. Look at all these sellers coming in. It is super duper handy. And then obviously as well, which is one of my favorite features, is that you can trade Apex with Atas. Okay, so if you're a prop firm trader, you can trade with Apex. So they have like I think they're 80% off right now. Use code Fostermans obviously. And you'll get like 80% off, maybe even like 90. I'm not sure what it is at the moment. But it's definitely a high discount rate. So you could trade your prop firm account on here, monitor volume, trade inside here, all within just one computer, one laptop. That's all you need. That's all you guys need. You know what I've noticed? My laptop is over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Really sellers, whoa. Really sellers are in profit. Whoa. Right here in the drop. Let's see. Tap. Let's see. Drop. Okay, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, CBD's looking pretty crazy as well. haven't quite broke it though, so we're seeing like some little bit of exhaustion. Look at that, guys. Honestly, where the crosshair was, that's exactly where I said it was going to drop, and it's dropped. Crazy, crazy. Right, anyway. Enough of that fun shenanigans. Let me see around here. Oh, that's so ugly. Yeah, they're gonna have to add that feature. Let me just see right here really quick. Just right here. Then obviously right down here as well. But I'll just adjust that. But yeah, did you see that, guys? I just don't like that. Like, you know how it looks so, like the text. Just does not look great, doesn't it? There's bound to be a way you can fix that. Fix sizes here. I'm just gonna turn show value off. It's just not liking it. I'm not liking it. Oh. Let me just add that. Okay, look at that. We hit it to the tick. $71. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. Definitely quite a bit of absorption happening. We sliced through there. We literally just got like a little reaction. The exact same thing that happened right over here. Look at this. Top light reaction. Top. Let's see the reaction. Check these out. This is like, you know, ooh, really close to that as well. 4.2 points though. So, not the best, not the best. Let's see what this reaction is looking like. Let's see, let's see, let's see. But yeah, I love, you know, trading with Addis on top of Apex. Just makes sense. It's like a one-stop shop, guys. You know. Again, for all you guys that are just tuning in, make sure you like and subscribe. That's for sure. Like and subscribe. But yes, over here, this is Addis. On this side of the chart, that is, it's all Addis. But this side is going to be like the footprint chart. This is just your blank chart. Let's see if these bars can still hold. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they can. Let's hope they can. Okay. Looks like that level is holding, which is really clean. Nice one, nice one. That's what we like to see around here, guys. Levels holding beautifully. So let's see what we can do around here. I think we're just hovering around, guys. Just being on that new session open as well. Obviously, if you're wanting all these templates, if you want to learn what I'm doing and so on, there is the code. Use code Fostermans. You can pretty much use code Fostermans for any prop firm, anything. But if you go to fostermans.com or the link in the bio, you'll be able to get access for 25% off. This is running until Halloween. So hopefully see you guys over in the Discord. Of course, if you want to learn more about the strategies and about the levels and how I find the levels, how you can find the levels, just join the link in the bio. But I'm going to end this one here anyway. Of course, I'm always available. You can pretty much text me at any time of the day. But I will see you guys in the next one. And